This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So when Joseph Parker defeated Deontay Wilder in Saudi Arabia, you know that the WBC and its president, Riso Suleiman, would have been crying in his cornflakes the following morning, knowing that Wilder lost. Because they've kept Deontay Wilder in at the number 1 position of their rankings for a long time, even though he had back-to-back defeats to Tyson Fury, but they still kept him at number 1. And quite recently, they said that they're going to order, or they're most likely to order, Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, which is number 1 and number 2, number 1 Wilder, number 2 Joshua, for the mandatory position to fight the winner of Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk. So they've been waiting a long, long time to order a new mandatory, even though it's been way overdue by now. The last one was Dillian Whyte. Okay, it's been way, way, way overdue. So that was their plan. They wanted to cash in, get their cut of the undisputed fight between Fury and Usyk, which is why they waited to call a mandatory, because they want to allow the undisputed fight to happen so they can cash in and then order Joshua versus Wilder. Again, cash in on that one by putting an interim status or a mandatory position on the line so they can get their cut as well. Okay, now that seems to have fallen by the wayside. So what they'll do now, if you were to look at the current rankings, is Wilder number 1. Obviously, he's lost, so he will lose that number 1 position. What position he'll be in the new rankings? We know the WBC will not want to update their rankings for quite some time, so fully expect a few weeks wait on that one. But they're going to have to now drop Wilder. Not necessarily drop him out of the top 15, but drop him from number 1 position. So Joshua will move from number 2 to number 1. Number 3, Asmir Makhmudov, also lost to Ajit Kabiel. So again, he's going to have to be dropped from his number 3 position. Frank Sanchez, number 4, well, he won his fight against Junior Farr. It was a stupid fight, but it is what it is. Frank Sanchez just seems to be fighting this kind of level of opponents to keep his ranking. So he's probably going to be moved up to number 2 position. So I would fully expect their new rankings to be number 1, Anthony Joshua, number 2, Frank Sanchez, as and when they release their rankings. Now, they could leapfrog Joseph Parker right the way up from number 8 to a number 1 or number 2 position. They could do that, but they probably won't. Why? Because Frank Sanchez is somewhat linked to the PBC. We know the bias with the PBC and the WBC. So I fully expect the WBC to begrudgingly now order Anthony Joshua versus Frank Sanchez for their WBC mandatory position. So that will leave Anthony Joshua in a position of, who do I fight? Do I fight Frank Sanchez for the WBC mandatory and then fight the winner of Fury Usyk? Or do I fight Filip Hrgović for the IBF position? Potentially a vacant belt after the first Fury Usyk fight happens. So either way, he's got 2 options. Filip Hrgović, IBF route, or Frank Sanchez, WBC route. Both of them will be due pretty much the same time. So which one does he fancy more? Which one's more lucrative? Which one does the Saudis want? It's going to be a very, very interesting time. That is for sure. So anyway, fully expect the WBC to order Anthony Joshua versus Frank Sanchez for the official WBC mandatory position. That's my thoughts. Drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.